Hi, everybody. I'm Cindy Coggins with Cindy Coggins Realty Group, Keller Williams Allen, and we are here today with Michael Copeland from Dean Hanson Farmers Agency. And this afternoon, we're going to be interviewing Jason Bardin, the Regional Vice President with Primerica. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Cindy. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking. So we're just going to kind of dive right in this afternoon. What is the story about you getting into the industry with Primerica? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So it was, we got to go back to 2006. I was going to school during the day. I was driving forklifts at night, and I was paying for college at the community level. I was looking for a way to make a little extra money, continue paying cash once I moved over on the university side. So I was open to looking at all kinds of stuff. I had a friend send me a MySpace message, so that dates it right there, right? She said, "Hey, I think I found the perfect place for you to hang your hat." I saw it was a financial company, and I thought, they hiring in the mailroom, like, what's the deal? She said, "Hey, they'll give you a shot. Just call this guy. He'll set up an interview for you." So I went in, I met with a guy, and what I saw was an opportunity to earn some money on the side to pay cash for college. When I went through training, what I figured out is that my industry spends a lot of time selling products based on how much money they make versus how to get the biggest benefit for their clients. That was what my family was a victim to, unfortunately. I should have had significantly more in college funds. My family should have had more generational wealth transfer, but the agent picked his paycheck over our family's wealth. And so I came here, it switched very quickly, and it went from a way to put myself through college into a way for me to do for others what no one did for my grandparents, which is just teach people how the industry works from the inside.
That's very interesting. So that basically, I hear that with that kind of picking your paycheck, so to speak, over the client's needs, it tells me it leads to a lot of turnover in your industry. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah, so there's a major turnover for a couple of reasons. Typically about 97% in the first 2 years. I would tell you that yeah, it's a big number. It happens for a couple of reasons. It happens because people don't actually get trained on how to serve and service people. So they run into challenges with lead generation and meeting new clients and doing all of that without cold calling, door knocking, buying leads, placing ads, and going bankrupt in the process. The other reason it happens is because they end up at the wrong place. They get taught first how to sell the stuff that pays the most. They get taught, well, it works this way. And then down the road, they actually read the contracts they're selling and find out that what they got trained was not totally accurate. So once that happens, they have an internal meeting with themselves. Am I willing to sell people what pays me the most, but maybe is not in their best interest? Or am I not willing to make a paycheck that way? And we see a lot of people leave the industry because they just go, look, if that's what I got to do to make a living, I'm just not going to stay. And rather than staying in the industry and fixing it, they leave and hope they never have to face the people they did that to down the road.
So it sounds to me like you chose to fix it long-term down the road, and that's led to a much higher level of success for you compared to other people in your industry. Would that be a fair assessment?
So it would. That's part of it. The other part is my number one goal is to serve people. And the way we serve people is by educating them on how financial products really work. Get your products and services wherever you want. My number one goal is to make sure that you have the information that no one shared with my grandparents so that it can't happen to you. Now, if you choose to allow it to happen to you, or you decide to go do business somewhere else with someone else, that's totally fine. But I found long-term that when people find out, they don't really know, it's very cliche, but they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Yeah. And so it's allowed me to work with some really great people and co-labor with folks that work out of my office that work with me, but also co-labor with my clients to help them reach the financial goals that they really want as efficiently as we possibly can.
And that's why we wanted you here tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we are in the service industry. Michael, of course, in insurance, and me, I am a realtor. So we see something similar in ours when there's lack of training, when people aren't taught how to generate leads, how to help others, because that is what is so vital, is helping one another. And it's a very important part of our business. So with that said, I see you, pardon me, I see you on social media all of the time, and it's fabulous. I just love it. So how important is social media presence in your opinion?
So now that our landscape has changed so much, I think it's vital. I've had a social media forever. I've had that presence, but it's because
hence the MySpace.
Yes, right. Hence the MySpace and all the other stuff. And the reason is I knew that people would go search you, and if they couldn't find you on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, they were like, are they a ghost? Are they do they not really exist? Are they new? Or should I stranger danger, run Will Robinson? And then, but I built a lot of my network face to face in networking groups, large groups of people meeting together, shaking hands, right? Like the thing that we're not supposed to do these days. And so when we converted online while we're moving through all the COVID stuff, what I found is that I neglected one of the most powerful free tools that was out there. And when I do spotlights for what I do in networking groups, I spend a little bit of time talking about myself, or about my products and services. I spend a lot of time talking about my story, how I got there. I've spent as much time as I've spent in the industry, so over 14 years, I've spent that much time or more on personal development. And that has made as big of an impact as anything. And so I try and share that with the people that work for me, that follow me, but also with everybody else out there, because leadership transitions to any industry, whether it's personal finance, which for me is mutual funds and life insurance, or it's auto, home, everything that you could possibly need, all your toys, all that stuff covered over farmers, or real estate. So many people have the inability to lead themselves, let alone lead anyone else. And if I can make an impact in one person, just one person, I talked about a little bit in my video today, we're all leaders and we're all impactful. It's the statistic with Google is you have one chance in 400 trillion of being a human being right now, right? And so you already hit the lottery. Let's make the most of it.
The more you speak, the more I understand why I reached out to you and wanted to get to know you more, because you're exactly what we want in our surrounding vendors, our surrounding referral partners, our surrounding atmosphere. And it's just so exciting. Like, one of the things you just touched on it a little bit, but I'd like to hear a little bit more expansion on when you do your videos, which this guy might be a big fan of them. And I'm pretty sure that she might be a big fan of them too. We noticed one thing about them, and we really like it, is you never talk about exactly what you do per se, as so much as getting us juiced up to be like, I need that guy to be on C-Squared Insights. I need that guy to be in my life, and I need that energy. Is that what your main goal is there?
Yeah. So yes. Giving you a tool where you go change your life with no intrinsic value benefit for me, that echoes an eternity. It allows me to build a relationship with someone, whether I'm doing it all or they're just going back and hearing like what I stand for. Plus, with hundreds of hours of video, you get to know who somebody really is, because it's kind of hard to fake that stuff long term. And then you never send a referral, like your best referrals, the people that you care about the most, the ones you're spending holidays with, birthdays with, you send those people to the ones that you know, like, trust, and respect the most. And so how do I take somebody brand new and allow you to get to know me really fast? It's doing stuff like this. It's doing videos about the things that I'm passionate about. And then ultimately just being positive. I mean, I don't know. The reason I do my Wealth Wednesdays is because somebody shared that in a video, and because they shared it, I was like, that's kind of a cool concept as to why they do it, which if you guys don't know what Wealth Wednesday is, I do something monetary to benefit somebody else that could never give it back, i.e. put a $5 bill in a thank you card at the grocery store. When somebody buys a thank you card, they get a $5 bill. Slip a $20 bill inside of a box of baby diapers. Pay for the person's stuff behind you when you're in line in the drive-thru. I do it every week because it takes the power of money off of you, right? It pulls that thumb off. But in the process, you make a huge impact in the person who watches you do it, i.e. the cashier. You're like, hey, I want to pay for the person behind you. Their attitude totally changes. And the person who really got the benefit would have to drive really fast to catch me. And it's impossible for them to ever pay me back. So I'm doing and putting good stuff out there. I do that because somebody shared it in a video and I love the concept. I don't know if I have shared the concept enough that one other person does it. But if one other person is doing it, now I'm making twice the impact on Wealth Wednesday, right? I can 10x that if I just keep talking about it. And no one's ever come up to me and been like, hey, you're the guy. And that's not why I do it. My wife tends to get it back though. Like somebody will take care of her. Things always end up working out. And in life, everything always has worked out for me because I have a positive mental attitude. And then I show up and I work like it's up to me, and I pray like it's up to the Lord.
Very good. You are putting such a wonderful message out to the world and a lot of positive energy into our world. And some of the messages that you have on your videos are so inspiring and so uplifting. They're full of energy and just these little nuggets that are fantastic. So with that said, folks like Michael and I, we love to follow you. Who do you follow? Who's your inspiration?
So there's a couple of people I really love listening to. So I do listen to Grant Cardone, right? The king of 10X. That is maybe not my necessary style, the hard pressure closing.
Sure.
But he's got a lot of really great content that you can get at no cost. Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V for short, incredible. Do what you love more than what'll pay you. He's got some really great stuff. He's got the empathy. He's the yin and the yang to Grant Cardone, right? There's another gentleman, Ian Pruckner, that I follow. He's got a book and he's got a podcast. And then some of the other stuff I do is inner business. But I would say those are probably the biggest people that I love. And then I just kind of watch Andy Frisella that he owns First Forma. I love his stuff as well. He's a down-to-earth guy. He's got a great podcast where he just speaks the truth to entrepreneurs. Life is fair to everyone, fairly unfair to everyone. And he talks about that, right? All of us go through challenges. How we react determines how far we go. And he does a great job about talking about that. He just wrote a book too called 75 Hard. I just ordered it. I can't wait to read it. I think it's gonna be incredible.
Well, Jason, I got to tell you something, that this is a little reference from my friend Cindy here. When I watch your videos, by the end of it, I feel like I'm Roy Jones Jr. I feel like I could go fight Mike Tyson. I don't know what it is, but it's like, I'm just like, oh. And again, that's one of the reasons why I reached out to you, is because I was super excited about how inspirational you are. And here's the sad part is, I'm so excited about your energy and your vibes and your wholeheartedness about your Wealth Wednesday. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. And to be honest with you, I have zero idea what Primerica does, and I don't care. I just want to know what I can do to help you get clients, because I just know that you're going to be, whatever it is, you're going to help that client you're going to help them.
See, and that's the key. If more people would live their life so that people could learn that about them, I think a lot of things in business would be easier. It really would. Absolutely. Because then we could co-lab with people we care about and our ideologies match up with. And that makes for some real magic out there in the world for us.
It does. Well, Jason, speaking of Primerica, Michael was popping back over. What is the best way for someone who is interested in talking to you about your business and what you do, and you to help them, what is the best way for them to get in contact with you? Phone, email?
So, phone, absolutely. All of the above.
Okay.
So my cell phone number, 817-673-1267. Check me out on Facebook. I check my messages on a regular basis, as well as LinkedIn. Not only do I see all my messages, but I do respond to everyone, okay? And then that 817 number rings to my office. So I get all of those. I check the messages, and I'd love to have a conversation.
Very good.
What is your MySpace page?
You know, great question. I don't know anymore. It's been so long. But MySpace changed this life right here.
I'm telling you, it really did. It really did. Well, that's going to be a wrap for the evening, everybody. I am Cindy Coggins with Cindy Coggins Realty Group, and this is Michael Copeland
with Dean Hanson's Farmers Insurance Agency, and you can reach me at 972-727-9705.
You can give me a call at 469-499-7452. We'll see you next week on C Squared Insights.
Bye, everyone. And Jason, thank you so very much. And if they don't watch your videos on Facebook, they are missing out.
Hey, Absolutely. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Good night.